There we are. Check, check, audio check. Looks good. Sounds good. All right. Where were we? My poor goblin friend. I did some of the dock quests over there, getting the lobsters and things, so that's all done. I took the mortal enemies quest again, and I still have to go further to the north to kill the Naga and get the clam meat. But before we do that, I want to complete Kodo Roundup. I was having some trouble with this yesterday because someone was killing them. Killing all the aged and dying Kodos, which is cruel and weird. There's Rexar. 600k HP. Level 62. Has any raids actually killed him? Is he killable? I'd be curious to find out. I might even try at some point. Ugh. All right, I gotta close these portals. Do I even need to fight this guy? Let's get poisoned up just in case. Hey, Animal's Fine. How you doing? Good afternoon, Saber Feruzzi. Hope you're doing well today. Does this spawn shit? Oh, the imp caught me. Ugh. Try that again. Does that count as a completion, or do I have to kill him? Oh, I have to kill him. Otherwise it won't count. Waiting for buns to rise. And then it's time for burgers. Excellent. Hey, Bompaire, how you doing? I am discovering new things about old quests. Also, this is, you know, that kind of, yeah, that's so weird. This is Mop Classic? No, this is CapyWoW, the last version on Capybara Paradise. So, if you're not familiar with CapyWoW, it was a Classic Plus server that Blizzard murdered. And unfortunately for Blizzard, there were a number of... There was a hack, and there was... this one is like the old server was brought back to life by the Southeast Asia devs who didn't give a shit about the lawsuit, and like there's all sorts of stuff going on. I heard a new one's forming called Raven something. So there'll be another Turtle WoW clone up soon enough. It's kind of crazy. But as I always say, Hail Hydra. You cut down one head, two more spawn up. So what were you thinking? What were you thinking, Blizzard? I mean, we all know what they were thinking. They were thinking, oh, if we shut down these servers, then everyone will have to come back to World of Warcraft and they'll have to play retail. And that's just not true. I think most of these people were never going back to retail. Ooh. Oh, he's level 38. What's going on? He's working me. He's working me hard. That's a lot closer than I would have wanted. Let's get my stamina food. Hey, King Lich, how you doing? One head gone, spawn several more. Yep. That is the nature of the Hydra Beast that Blizzard has unleashed upon themselves. I still don't understand why they didn't just start licensing private servers. They should have done that maybe Actually, they should have done that as soon as Nostalrius was a thing. Instead, they lost all those people from over a year of having to wait for them to make their own classic after they shut down Nostalrius, pissing off literally everybody in that community. And then when they did finally do it, there were a dozen new private classic servers running, so they really stopped nothing at all. It's I want to say it's shocking that they could be this dumb, but I understand what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect their copyright, and they don't want to build relationships with the other private server owners because they're all over the place. Some of them would be in countries that would be illegal to do business with right now, chiefly Russian. Though ironically, most of them have had business partners in Hong Kong or Singapore that handles the money side of things, in which case that would be perfectly fine. You reckon RTS can ever be as big as they used to be? Yeah, I absolutely do think they could, but it needs to be more on the RPG side of things, I think, and more emphasis on the hero. Instead, what everyone's trying to do is be like StarCraft 2's successor, while StarCraft 2 is still incredibly popular. Warcraft 3 exists, and that's still incredibly popular, but no one's trying to be Warcraft 4, except for maybe Warhammer. I think they have a new Dawn of War. I don't know if that's out yet or not. God damn, these guys are tough. Let's just start putting in Ghostly Strike. Came home from vacation yesterday, pretty relaxed. That's awesome. Everyone needs a vacation every once in a while. I'd like to take one with my family, but that is not in the cards for the foreseeable future. That one was easier. It was 38. Maybe that one was 39, and that's why I struggled with it. Jukar Grimrod. Is he part of the... No. No. Nope. Never mind. Dawn of War is trying to be a Dawn of War, the first one. Wasn't there a Dawn of War 2 and I thought there was like a Dawn of War 3 in production? Or am I wrong? No, that's an interesting... What's that about? Never been up here. That's probably not going to work. If I can hit this at the right angle, I could theoretically get up there. No, it's not going to happen. I'm not that patient. Or am I? No, I'm not. All right, F it. We just need one more gate, and then we can be done with this silly quest. The shift towards more hero-focused Dawn of War almost killed it. Is that right? That's interesting. Did they fuck it up? Because I can't imagine that going wrong. 3 was a flop. Hope it won't be like that. Eesh. What happened? I didn't play it, so I guess I can't really say one way or the other what they should have done. I am curious why it went so poorly, though. That's kind of odd. I would have thought a more hero-focused Dawn of War would have done very well. Or were they trying to be like Dota or something? Or are they trying to pull a MOBA thing? That would be a mistake. Because MOBAs already exist in great abundance. I think now is the time to go in the RTS focused direction of a semi-MOBA. Building stuff. They were supposed to add more factions. They didn't. They just gave up. Oh, it was that bad? What did they do in sales? All right, you're going to make me look this up, aren't you? Let me look this up. Dawn of War 3 sales. Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3 sales vary significantly depending on the source. Steam Spy and early reports indicated 575,000 to 1 million copies sold on Steam, which developer Relic Entertainment and publisher Sega cited as insufficient to justify further content support. Most recent aggregated data from Gamealytic suggests higher cumulative figures, estimating 819,000. This is the one thing that I like AI for, is that it fucking steals all the content from these different analytics sites that will not show you this information and then just gives it to you. I'm sure they don't like that, but I'm a big fan. Just because it makes data more free. And the AI doesn't know it's doing anything wrong, which is the irony. They're destroying these businesses that rely on people buying their aggregate data. Tamed Coda. Did someone tame this and then leave it? Does this work on him? No. Aged, ancient, or dying. See, someone's still killing these. That's problematic for me. Oh, he's going for the skulls. If I were a Tauren, I would not be able to get through that. All right, let's go. So it sounds like they decided that 1 million in sales was not enough, which is interesting. Because that's a good payday for an RTS, I would think. But apparently that's not enough. I remember Warcraft 3 only sold like 1 million in the first month, though I guess this has been out a lot longer. I didn't even realize Dawn of War 3 came out. So Warcrotch is real, huh? I love it. Yeah, well, I'm making it real. So if people sign up for that slot on the Patreon, they're basically funding Warcrotch. And that will fund the audiobook, whatever it is, whatever amount it is, that funds the audiobook. If it goes crazy and like there's enough people, I've started the tabletop RPG. So right now I'm doing the back lore for Warcrotch, which means I'm the mythos of the creation of the universe and so forth. And I'm doing the gods and stuff. Right now I'm writing all the different gods. And next up will be the historical timeline and how we get to the modern era and what's going on in this high fantasy, super sexualized setting. But I think my favorite part right now that I did was that basically the universe creation mythos starts with a god coming from the I called it the Chaosmos, but basically the inky black edge of the universe. Some god comes out of that inky blackness and decides that they want to mess. They're just exploring, and then they find Earth, and they're like, oh wow, Earth's history is kind of interesting. I really like these high fantasy settings, but it's too bad that humanity ended itself through war and destruction. So that's That's like the timeline if he doesn't interfere. So he interferes and he changes the ancestor that becomes humanity by switching it from the predecessor to a more bonobo-like predecessor. And if you know the bonobos they resolve all conflict through sexual relations. Ergo, humanity, instead of becoming, even though we still have our warlike instincts, all conflicts are resolved through sex. So, once I had that in my head, I was like, oh, I gotta do more. I gotta do more. Sometimes AI gets shit wrong because its sources made stuff up. Yeah, that's true. No, I don't like that the AI hallucinates shit, and I typically am good at spotting hallucinations, but it does scrape data from those data analytics sites that I have confirmation of. And because it does that, I can get that same data that I would normally have to basically buy a subscription from them for, which I can't afford right now. So I'm pretty happy about AI doing that. And plus, eventually that will cause a lawsuit because Gamealytics and all them don't want to give that data for free. It's supposed to be a paid tier. Is the AI paying for a subscription? I don't think so. So it'll be interesting to see. Uh, it'll be interesting to see how that gets resolved in the court system because they're gonna have to come for them in order to get that to stop. That's really good, man. Some of those romanticises are so well thought out. The stories are actually really good. They just happen to be sexy. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Exactly. And that's going to be I'm taking it as seriously as I would any sort of new intellectual property that I would work on. And I'm developing like the whole world lore exactly like I would develop any other fantasy setting that I've worked on before. So I think it'll benefit from all that structure. And if I get enough interest, I will develop the tabletop RPG along with rules of sex combat. So it will be quite interesting to develop that further because it's certainly unique, and I don't see anyone else doing that sort of stuff in tabletop RPGs. Or I'm just oblivious to that audience and it already exists and I have no idea. But either way, I'm curious to tackle it myself and see if I can make something spectacular out of it because I think I can. You love it? Excellent. That's what I like to hear. You're reading a D&D coded romantasy right now called Yield by C.R. Stroud. Really fun. And before that, I finished a spicy, cozy fantasy with vampires, but low stakes. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, it's definitely enjoyable. We're talking about two things. Dawn of War 3 didn't do as well enough, apparently, to survive and get updates. And Warcrotch, the high fantasy hypersexualized fantasy setting that I'm well, right now I'm gauging interest. So if you're interested in supporting Warcrotch, you can go to my Patreon and sign up as under the Warcrotch support setting. And if there's enough going on there, well, first of all, I'm going to do the audiobook regardless of the outcome. So I still have to do some of the lore setting informational stuff before I do that. But if I get enough support, I'm going to make a tabletop RPG book to go with it, including the player's handbook and the DM's guide. And then I'm going to use an open gaming license that just requires attribution, basically saying that I created the world. And then allow others to create in the Warcrotch universe. So I think it'll be fun. Not collected, but non-unique. This is double. Am I emphasizing money? We can get that later. We can get that later. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not too bad to get it. I don't think it was that exciting anyways. All right. What's next? All right, let's kill the Magrum. What kind of support do you need? I might be able to make some art pieces for you. All support, all kinds of support. but predominantly monetary support is what I'm looking for right now. It's time for the what would we call them? The goon maxers to put their money where their mouth is. And if this is really what they want, now is their chance to support it. So we'll see what happens. You've always meant to ask me that Arthas versus Illidan duel in Warcraft 3. How did you guys make that? It was one artist. It was Matt. I'm going to get it wrong. Let me look it up. Let me look it up before I say anything. Nope, not them. Who was it? Uh-oh. All right, I don't remember his last name, unfortunately. God, hopefully I'm not getting his first name wrong too. Then I would be really confused. Let me look through the Warcraft 3 credits. I think I'll find him that way. Art, 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 art. Matt Osborne. It was Matt Osborne. Matt Osborne saw the level. So originally the Illidan versus Arthas fight is a level, and that was going to be it. And Matt Osborne saw that and he's like, I can do something. Let me do something. And like all things back then, he asked his boss, Sam Didier, and Sam Didier said, yeah, go for it, man. Let's see what you got. And he did the whole thing himself. And thanks to him, you get that cool anime-ish Illidan versus Arthas fight in Warcraft 3. Cheers for taking the time. Always, always. If I'm not here to answer questions, what am I here for? Got to answer as many questions as I can before I die, right? Otherwise, the information is lost forever. That wouldn't be good. I'm planning to do a DJ set for an upcoming event. I don't know when that is exactly. It's the end of this week, isn't it? So we have DJs at Out of Bounds Entertainment. I don't know if you guys are familiar. If you're not, you should probably join the Out of Bounds Entertainment Discord and my own if you haven't already. And let's see. Where's our normal link? It's just Out of Bounds Entertainment, isn't it? Oh. Out of Bounds.live. That's the radio. Well, you guys can check out the radio anytime you want at Out of Bounds.live. I think it has a Discord link on there too. Can you share when the time is on your own Discord? I'll see if I can tune in. Yeah, I will get the exact time and post it to my Discord in an announcement a little bit later in the week when we're closer to the event. But for those who are not familiar with Out of Bounds Entertainment, we were formerly Everlook Radio. We're the guys who did Hardcore Victims Unit. If you're familiar with that show that we have on YouTube, you can check our stuff out on YouTube, as well as all the old interviews from the Turtle WoW server days. And we didn't stop. We didn't stop making stuff. Hardcore Victims Unit episode 4 is coming out in the nearish future. And we have a new show called the Panoptonomicon. We just did our first table read for it. And I'm excited to get that into production. It's just a radio play for now. Just a radio play. It'll be a radio play initially, and then I think if it becomes wildly popular, we might go further in the development of characters and setting and start creating art and things for it. But we'll have to see how the first episode is received. I'm hoping it goes well because I really liked making it, and I think that people are going to like some of the thematics of the show. Meet Shield 7 going to the bathroom. You don't have to tell us, man. It's all right. Oh, don't heal. And he's dead. Getting used to playing Hunter. I should probably bring up this so that I know what I'm doing. All right, Scout, Stormer, Outrunner. Get wrecked. I want to maximize killing the Magrum while they're still giving me XP. Because otherwise it ends up feeling like a waste if you keep grinding on them. Though I must say that the rewards for the Quartermaster looked pretty disappointing. And I'm not sure... There used to be a trinket that gave you move speed, and I'm not sure what happened to it. Maybe they just never had it on Turtle WoW or something, or they took it away because it was too powerful. I don't know. I don't know when they took it away either. Does Atlas Loot have it? Maybe I can check it. Crafting, world events, factions. Factions, Magrum, Gilkus. Here it is. Oh, it's a quest reward. Triskelion of Roving Elements. It's a trinket with minor increase to running and swim speed. It's the only one in the game that does that, as far as I'm aware. So okay, so it's a final quest reward, I guess. Well, that's exciting. At least I have something to look forward to. Unlike if I were on the Magrum side, I don't think that they have anything nearly as exciting as that. Or at least they didn't last I checked, but we can actually check right now. Magrum. What are your quest rewards? Oh, that's the one I got. Slightly increases stealth detection. It is 5 agility on a trinket, which is actually quite good, but it's not nearly as good as a move and swim speed increase on a trinket, which to me was the only item that Zenrai didn't get. That, well, actually there were two. The only two items Zenrai never got that would have increased swim speed further, which is, you know, sad that I never got to complete it, but hey, we're gonna fulfill all that fantasy here over on Krizix. You're a designer on Warcraft 3. You must feel extremely vindicated now that it's coming out that many elements of the lawsuit are false. I'm glad your legacy and reputation are not tarnished. Well, I'll be honest with you, my legacy and reputation were not tarnished, but they're actually wrong about some of those allegations not being true. And it's funny how wrong they're getting it. Even Jason Schreier is getting it wrong, because he claimed that the Cosby allegations didn't come out until 2014, and that's not true at all. I vividly remember the first initial Cosby allegations coming out around 2005 and 2006. There was a lawsuit against him, and in the lawsuit, he testified that he purchased Quaaludes for the purposes of giving to women he wanted to have sex with. So there's that. And then on top of it, yeah, like there were lots of people talking about those events thereafter. So it is more than feasible that someone made the Cosby Room specifically referencing those events. And why am I inviting people? I'm still doing this. It's so weird. I gotta figure out what add-on is auto-inviting people. So those events, did happen in such a way that it's more than likely that the reference of the Cosby suite was exactly that, which is sad. However, in terms of my reputation, I'm doing more to harm it right now with Warcrush than I. Oh, Blizzard did everything wrong, and they still are to this day. Let's not get confused. I promise you that Bobby Kotick does not pay $55 million under the table to end an investigation unless there's something really dark going on. So that deeper investigation never happened. So that's the thing. People are claiming, oh, they never found anything. And the truth is they didn't look very hard because they got 55 million, so they considered it over. And that's problematic for everyone involved, because that can harm the reputation of the people making the claims when they actually probably have legitimate grievances that need to be resolved. And that's sad for them, because they're the ones who suffered. Not good. Not good at all. And the reputation of those at Blizzard was tarnished for a long time, so much so that saying you worked at Blizzard was enough for people to raise eyebrows. It's still gonna raise eyebrows, yeah. Nothing's changed in that regard. I have to explain that I left the studio before World of Warcraft shipped. Ergo, I was not involved in any of that fucking nonsense. In fact, I was SA'd myself by my boss while I was working there, so what can I say? Reputation was earned. Where's the Outrunners and Stormers? There. They got paid off? Yeah, definitely did get paid off. And there was clearly some sort of weirdness in terms of officials getting paid off too. Though I don't know exactly what's going on with that. We'll have to wait and see what new information comes out about that. Black Vitriol is actually for something important, I think. Hold on to that. It's this, and destroy this one, and grab that and that. Nope, we can't. Oh, I didn't get the spot. All right, 9 silver, go bye-bye. No. We need a lot more Stormers. The studio is cleaning itself and soon all will be back to where it should be. Blizzard is already reasserting itself as the head of Xbox and earnings, reputation soon also. What the heck are you talking about? Are you talking about that letter that leaked? The letter that leaked from Johanna Ferries? Because, yeah, of course now they're the top of Xbox earnings, because actually they're not. Minecraft is, for sure, by far. Activision Blizzard might be second, only because, they have King under them, so they've got the mobile games division, effectively. In addition, they just let go of a bunch of studios. So it's, not hard to be close to the top when there's not really much of anything to be a top. What was working with Metzen like? It was fun. Metzen was a cool dude. I hope he's doing well. I can't wait to see Lawbrand. He's got an update coming for Lawbrand. If you're interested in that, it's on Kickstarter. I have the first book that they put out, but they're updating for 5.5, I think it is. So I'm curious to see what he does with that. But we used to play D&D together when I worked there. He played a half ogre. I think he played a half ogre named Agranar, and he kind of played him like a superhero. So that was always fun. But generally, he was like very easy to work with, very easy to riff ideas with. At the time, he was a little sensitive. understandably so, I guess, because he was not used to being, you know, in charge of everything in terms of like story wise. I think that was around the time that I started in level design. After moving up from QA, I think was around the time that he also moved up and became like the creative director. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, there was some sensitivity, I suppose, on certain topics. But like I said, we were able as level designers to push back on story elements we didn't like, and he was more than willing to accept that and adjust, which was great. You can probably make some time to make a few pieces of art for my new project. Anything to piss off Microactoblis. You know, Warcrotch is not specifically to piss them off. It's a genuine attempt at a hypersexualized high fantasy setting. I'm taking it very seriously, so I understand why it might seem like the purpose is to piss off Blizzard, but it's definitely not. Though they might be pissed off regardless. That sucks. Yeah, but Xbox sucks. From my understanding, the Steam Machine spec surpasses the new Xbox and is cheaper. That's probably true, and probably the Xbox will be slightly cheaper, and I imagine that it will be focused on streaming games and not any sort of physical media. In fact, I think they've already stated that explicitly, but I'm not 100% sure. Which is interesting. Also, the Steam box is obviously all digital, so it's hard to really complain at this point when it comes to all consoles being the same in that regard. Oh, that's annoying. Kellen's Dagger of Escape. Yes. Did you? I guess my character did sneak into D&D, or rather, my D&D character did sneak into the game. I didn't make that item. I can't remember who did. But yeah, Kellen was my D&D character that I played in the game with Chris Metzen and Sammy, and it was run by Derek Simmons, who is no longer there. I think he went into some sports thing, and then he was like, I want to say insurance, but I don't think it's insurance. Whoa, whoa. Can you loot while sitting? No. That's unfortunate. That's a cool bit of trivia. Yeah. I mean, if you watch my Warcraft 3 Ask Me Anything series, the one that goes from my channel to Ablehawk's channel and back and forth, yeah, I think I have some more information about the D&D game in there. Not a whole lot. I think there's a short from Ablehawk as well that you could check out. And I think in that short, he shows the artwork that Sammy made for our characters, which was really cool of Sammy to do. But yeah, that's out there. That exists. Have you seen the Odyssey? Not yet. I haven't seen Spider-Man either. They're both on my list to watch, but I haven't gotten around to it yet because I haven't found a good yar to get. If and you know what I mean. Barely worn be thee, says I. Whoa. Kellen was your character? Yeah, Kellen was my character. Kellen, okay, so just to preface this a little bit, I was a bit pretentious with this character because I didn't typically play spellcasters, so I was trying to get into the spellcaster mindset. So this was like a drow, what did he call him? A drow. He had a rune caster. It was a drow rune caster. So the way that the rune caster worked was you would scribe the spells ahead of time onto a rune, and then you would throw the runes or use the runes, or you do something with the rune in order to activate the spell. And so Kellen, whose full name was Kelenor Manus Tudonus Fatum, which is the the hand that guides our fate to light, uh, which is probably not proper Latin, but that was the inspiration for the words. Anyways, Kellen was trying to find a way to save his people, who were, forget exactly what it was, but it was something like since they're drow, they're in an underground sort of area. The whole cave system was effectively collapsing. The whole world was going to collapse upon itself and kill all the drow. So he was looking for a way to save his people. And so he was exploring this other world. In this world, magic was basically kind of outlawed. So being a normal caster was quite a dangerous thing. As a rune caster who was not native to the world, I was able to stay under the radar because I wasn't casting the spells and thus causing people to see things. They're inscribed in the runes, and then the rune was causing the spell to go off, which is apparently detected differently. So Kellen met up with a group of adventurers, and the main plot line of the adventure was that we were initially trying to survive in this area, in this world where magic was sort of outlawed, and but we found, tyrannical oppression weighing down the populace from this faction called Prime, and Prime was sort of the tyrannical government of the world. And so we ended up becoming enemies of Prime because we did stuff that got on their radar, and they are effectively a massive police state. Anyways, I don't remember all that much from the adventures, unfortunately, because we're talking a very long time ago. But it was a lot of fun, and Chris and Sammy and the goat. I don't know why we just called him the goat. Mark Downey. Well, he was like, I think he was half satyr. Anyways, we would just go on adventures together, and it was a lot of fun. Back when things were a little more innocent at Blizzard, I would say. I would say there was like a bro culture and not a frat culture at that time. I think the frat culture came after I left, because the specific problems that I had with the SA were just one individual, but that individual brought in other people like Afrasavi and Kaplan, who were very much problematic people, at least for me, and for some other people apparently. But we won't go too much into that today. The Odyssey is so good. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right. I felt it was deeply political and Nolan's take on modern America, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I've heard that. Yeah. I would be interested to see it. I think my favorite, I haven't seen it yet, but my favorite outtake about it that I saw was that casting Helen of Troy as a black woman caused exactly the kind of controversy that basically, imagine someone so beautiful that it causes wars, and everyone's fighting about the casting of this character. So there's some interesting culture war overlap. So I am pretty sure that there is a lot of political commentary in Nolan's take on the Odyssey. But I haven't watched a movie like the Odyssey since Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Meaning I've read the original, The Odyssey, of course, as any literature major would have to do. But I haven't. The only other movie from that is like based on the book that is that is not like a one-for-one remake of it was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Which I highly recommend. It's quite interesting. So it'll be interesting to see Nolan's take on the Odyssey, which seems like a more traditional version, but obviously has some political commentary mixed into it. Isn't Helena like barely even in the movie? She shouldn't be, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it. So I don't really know what's going on with all that controversy, but it's interesting how much controversy there is. If fans remade Warcraft 3, would you play it? I would rather that they make a spiritual successor to Warcraft 3 than just get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. You don't need to get in trouble. If you need intellectual property, a Warcraft-like universe to create an RTS in, I will provide it for you for free. I would much rather spend my time helping you guys make something uh, like that than have you guys do something really cool and then get in trouble. There's no point. There's no point in doing that anymore. It's sad to see the state the games industry has fallen in. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I keep everyone's blaming the wrong things for the state of the current AAA industry. But what Asha Sharma is doing to Xbox is quite disturbing to me. And we'll have to see what comes of it. But it looks to me like they're just manufacturing consent to murder all these game studios and then force the developers who are left to work with AI in order to, quote unquote, increase productivity. However, every study that I've looked at so far shows a decrease in productivity as AI is used more. And especially as programmers become reliant on it, some programmers are able to use it in the correct way where they don't become reliant on it. But a lot of them seem to get lazy and then they rely on it too much and then they can't function anymore because they can't fix the code when it's broken. And that's the real cost for the programmers, is that when the AI creates something and they're not keeping up on every step, the moment you get a little bit lazy, it sort of takes over and now you lose track of what's going on and it becomes spaghetti code to you, which is super dangerous for any project. So many layoffs happening, and on top of all that, you get these companies that make games no one wants. Bungie has fallen so effing far. I just don't understand why they made a marathon game without a single player campaign. That makes zero sense to me. Marathon 1 and 2 and Infinity, the strongest pull for them was their single player campaign and storyline and well-written characters and you being a silent protagonist. Like everyone's like, oh, Half-Life's amazing because they have a silent protagonist. Marathon did it first. And I feel like they did it better because there was more actual story in the sci-fi world. Most people haven't played Marathon 1 and 2. They're really good. I wonder, there must be at least one remaster of them somewhere. Cool interview you did. Had no idea Jeff Kaplan is this not cool guy? Everybody's praising him. Yeah, he put himself out there as like the front man for Overwatch, and I just don't understand how he got away with that. I just don't understand how he got away. What do you want elemental air for? That's weird. All right, so doing these again, I don't get. Yeah, those don't count as quest completions, so we're gonna decline to do any more of that, I think. And this one is Almadrock, which is an elite, actually. To the north. Is he in the... Just before the path opens to the fiery woodland vale, the winged horror stalks the roads. Have I never seen this before? I'm a little perturbed. All right, let's do the fish stuff. We're gonna go kill slither blades and stuff. Or maybe we go through the... Can't decide. Indecision. Let's go this way. May as well kill this on the way. Marathon seems like another cash grab. I don't think it was intended to be, but it ended up that way, that's for sure. What's weird to me, though, is that they had Destiny 2. And Destiny 2, I think, still has more interest than Marathon does. But Sony is so dead set on having a hero shooter. They already, like, screwed the pooch with Concord. And now Marathon is shitting the bed. It's like, just stop. No one wants another hero shooter. I think Overwatch is doing better now than ever before because all the other hero shooters fell flat on their faces. So it's kind of weird, this obsession that Sony has with it. I feel like they felt they missed an opportunity or something, or maybe they had some sort of, maybe they had a developer that was gonna do something with them and then that fell through and now they've been like trying to make up for it ever since. I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. Oh, it's an extraction shooter. You're correct. Not a hero shooter, but it's also a hero shooter because each character is unique. It's a hero extraction shooter, right? I haven't played it. That's the problem. I don't want to either. I certainly don't want to play it for money. It was free for a little bit, so I should have taken that opportunity, but I missed out. You're right that Marathon is an extraction shooter, yes. Oh no. What am I going to drop? I should have stopped at the mailbox before I did this. It's the new hip thing now. Yeah, certainly team-based shooters are in fashion. I just don't exactly know why Sony's so obsessed. And they're clearly obsessed. Clearly obsessed. What's it gonna be? All right, I just realized. I could go to Ghostwalker Post. I just have no room in my inventory for clam meat or anything else. Bummer. All right, we're going back to town. I can't. I can't. So Bungie's a weird case because if you have Destiny 2 and you have a successful game like that, you would think you would do everything to support that continued evolution of that game. And then they released, what was it called? The Final Shape, and everyone seems to have loved it. I'm actually going to go back and play Destiny 2 now because I'm hoping beyond hope. Maybe it's too far to hope this, but my initial experiences with Destiny 2 were kind of lackluster, predominantly because all of the story was just out of order and I didn't get it. Like it was confusing. Um, and now I'm hoping that they've put things into an order. I mean, hence the name, The Final Shape, right? I'm hoping they put things in such a way that I can get the full story if I go through it correctly and sort of understand the world better. That was one of that was I loved the mechanics and I loved running around the world. It was just that the narrative was always a little off because I was getting random bits and pieces of story from different eras or expansions or sections. I don't know even how to describe it, but I was never getting like a complete picture of the world or the mystery behind the orb. Like all of that was just kind of strange. So I will probably give it another try. Extraction shooter mechanics feel like way overhyped to carry the whole game. Games should be more open-minded, like the dev team behind Fortnite. It didn't start out as a Clash Royale. Still has other modes. I know Jason Hutchins. Jason Hutchins was one of the people that I played D&D with at Blizzard, and he was the one who was working on Fortnite on the original version, and then they did that Hail Mary to turn it into a so Fortnite originally was like sort of a tower defense kind of thing was going on, hence all the building mechanics. And I believe it was Jason Hutchins who basically shifted them to create that new mode, which is what is it called? Battle Royale. They switched it to Battle Royale after they had played what was that game? Uh Arma or Player Unknown's Battleground, or it was the precursor to that, wasn't it? I think it was an Arma. Failed attempt. Oh, it's True Silver. Rip Shadewood. I already got 60 stacks. 60 of them. Have you ever talked to Michael S. Booth? Michael Booth. Michael Booth. No, I don't think so. Don't think so. Didn't you hear Activision Blizzard innocent? They could do no wrong. That's not true at all. Again, remember, guys, I was SA'd at Blizzard. So all these people saying that that culture didn't exist and stuff, you're basically, yeah, I'm just saying you don't know. You don't know what actually went down there. H1Z1. Oh, yeah. PUBG, then Fortnite. Okay. PUBG, that's the one. PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Yeah, so I think they played that and it was Jason Hutchins' idea to switch it from to add that battle mode, and when they added the battle royale plus the building elements, it just went really well together apparently. And they've been resting on their laurels ever since. Michael S. Booth. I'm trying to think. What's he from? Took me to Facebook. No, I've never met him. That's not him. Actually, I'll know for sure if I checked on LinkedIn. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't type anymore. Chief Creative Officer at Bad Robot Games. Oh, he does look familiar. I think he just looks familiar. I don't think I've ever met him, no. He was the game director of Blizzard? Yeah, but it's long after I left, I see. He founded Turtle Rock? Oh, that's cool. Damn, what a career. Holy shit. He goes from graphics and software engineering to technical director at EA for almost 4 years. He founds the Turtle Rock Studios, which made Dead the one that Valve released, Dead something, Left 4 Dead. And then he went to Valve Software for 4 years as a game designer. Oh, because he transitioned Left 4 Dead. Okay, I see. So these two are in alignment. And then he was game director at Blizzard for 2 years. That's quite short because he went to Facebook to be their creative director. Oh, he was managing the VR stuff. Ooh, that's rough. And now he's the chief creative officer of Bad Robot Games. You know, I applied to Bad Robot Games a couple times because I wanted to do, I think, a Lost game, but it didn't work out. Oh well. Holy shit, Left 4 Dead. Yeah, exactly. Michael worked on Heroes of the Storm AI. Same with CSS. What? Counter-Strike. Okay. Counter-Strike AI. Worked on Turtle Rock Studios, Valve, and possibly Blizzard. Yeah, he apparently he was the game director there, but I never worked with him, so I have no idea. He was in 2013. I had left before World of Warcraft shipped, so like 2003, 4-ish. Unique. I'll take it. Ding. All right. We are on our 41st point. Now it's a question of where am I going to put these points? I think I think I want to go for, no, I don't actually want to go for Humo. Backstab, Garrote, or ambush. For now, it would probably be dodge, or I just put more into damage. The most damage for the buck. is either here or here. I've never maxed out Seal Fate before. Let's do that. Wait, what? No, non-unique. Oh, you know what? It's fine. I want the look. Give it to me. T-Mog Brothers Unite. That's not going there. Great for... That's going to be sold. And let's go. At Facebook, did he want to make the metaverse work? Then was quickly axed because it would actually require a ton of game design to make it work. Like a true cyberspace. Shame didn't happen. Yeah, I think that once the Zuck realized the amount of work that would be necessary to actually make a metaverse, he decided it probably wasn't worth it, especially since no one wanted VR, no matter how cheap he made it. Like I have a Quest 2, I think, because it was so cheap. And I never use it. It's just such a fucking pain in the ass that I never use it. I hate it. I hate having that thing strapped to my fucking head. It's just so annoying. I don't know what they were thinking in terms of like who's gonna use this? Like who can use this for 2 hours plus? It's insane. Who has the room? Like even I have like a decent amount of space in the middle of my room. And I mostly cleared it just to use it better, and I still hit my hands on the side of the cupboard or on my chair or something, like just all the time. And I'm like, I'm gonna break a bone playing these fucking games. This is not worth it. And then every time I wanted to play, it would take like 30 minutes to update, and by the time it finished the update, I didn't want to play anymore. I was done. I was like, I'm out. No thanks. VR is a very problematic user experience, and they never I don't know what their expectation was, but it seems like they were just eat shit and die. Like they just didn't care. It was so weird. It's still weird. Can't believe Jeff Kaplan kicked you out. He doesn't seem to be nice as he shows himself. Well, he worked with Rob Pardo to make that happen, and Rob Pardo was the one who sexually assaulted me, so he had a vested interest in getting rid of me with cause. Because if they didn't get rid of me, his reputation would probably take a dive. When I figured out that that was what happened to me was probably worth going to Mike Morheim and talking about. And here's the thing, like at the same time that that had occurred, that was the year that Vivendi bought. I think it was the same year that Vivendi had bought us, and they started making us watch corporate training videos, like the old ones, about how like if your boss is getting touchy with you, you got to go report it to HR. And so it was just funny to me, and I was like laughing, and I'm like, wait a minute, and he was in the same room while we were watching that video, and he saw me laugh, and immediately after that is when he started like trying to force me to play Dungeons and Dragons with him and stuff. So there's a relationship there. I could probably find causal links all the way to exactly what occurred, but who knows? There was a dwarf axeman which used bandit models, so I guess not. What? A dwarf axeman who used a bandit model? Oh, during development of Warcraft 3, could you request a custom model for your map if your idea is super cool? At least in your opinion, it's not too complicated. There was no time. So basically all the models were already there. What you could do is you could ask Sammy if he could do a custom texture. That's how we got Murlocs. Murlocs were made out of the ghoul model. And that's how we got several of them came from the same models. I bet you could, if you look in the code, not the code, but I bet you could figure it out. But a lot of them use the same 3D model, and it's just Sammy doing crazy texture painting that makes it look totally different. We got a lot of that from Sammy. Dude is the GOAT. I feel like VR is not there yet, unless we're talking about whole gaming arcades that have dedicated space. In my opinion, augmented reality is much more of a possible future in games. AR definitely has a place in the future. Like imagine looking around with proper glasses, turning around and seeing what's behind your camera, being in Desolus instead of solely looking at a screen. Yeah, well, there's those elements, but there's also just informational elements. So imagine, and this is what if you go to any AR like thing, they'll like talk about all these things. But imagine you're in a store and you're seeing the prices of the stuff in front of you. You don't have to look at a tag anymore. You could also have an app that compares prices between stores. And so you'll have your shopping list, listing on your glasses over here, and you can see the pricing checks. And it's like, oh, if you go to, we suggest, going to this store for these items, but these items here are the cheapest, and there's a sale on these two or whatever. And there can be all sorts of ways to use it for informational purposes. The problem is that corporations will, of course, abuse these and get you to overpay in every situation or convince you that there's a deal when it's really not a deal. For example, what they did with Honey. I don't know if you guys remember Honey, but Honey was a browser extension that would supposedly find you the best deals, and it ended up that they would take the cut that would normally go to like the YouTuber who says use my Honey link or whatever, and they would just basically steal their money from all the people who came through them. Kind of wild. I don't know. I just remember the allegations, but I don't remember how it turned out. They do that in WoW a few times too. Oh, for sure. Like Moonkin and Ogres share animations, including the dance. Yep. It's easy to tell by the animation Murloc slaves use the cannibalism animation from ghouls when building their hindquarters. No, I know. Yeah. Sammy did a lot of amazing things with textures that I don't think... Well, I mean, these days they just make a million models and they do it all by hand, but Sammy got so much mileage out of just a few models. It's kind of insane. And I think it's a lost art, or it's becoming a lost art. Everyone wants custom everything, but sometimes it's better to just use what already exists and do something on top of it. Oof, itchy. Fun fact, Watcher's Warden from ROC have the blink ability coded into them with the animation before Warden Maev. Both models look cool as hell. Sammy is genuinely good. Absolutely. Sammy's art book is coming out in October. If you haven't checked out that, you can pre-order it now, which I do recommend doing. It's only $25 from Barnes & Nobles. It does ship internationally, but the international shipping could be expensive for you if you're not in the US. But if you are in the US, here's a link. Check it out. ABCs of Fantasy by Samwise Didier. Imagine having an original Samwise art book on your bookshelf. The only bad thing Sammy did was pandas. I will never forgive him for that. Oh, come on. The pandas were... Son of a bitch. The pandas were actually cool. It's just that originally the way he envisioned them was Japanese and not Chinese. And that apparently upset some people and they made him change it. I think he's okay with it, but I think he would have preferred his original vision because the inspiration for his original panda art was Lone Wolf and Cub, which is a manga that he really liked. And that was obviously it would be Japanese influenced. Wow, you're going to get away from me. She doesn't heal, does she? I see you. I don't think I can kill that. I know there's a quest for it. I just don't know if I have that quest. And I need this clamshell for Ariel, the Little Mermaid. What? All right. Up we go. What level is he? 39. 39 elite? It would be real close. You'd pay to see Samwise draw 40k? Oh. Aren't pandas native in China? Yeah, they are. But this is Azeroth. Pandaren can be from anywhere. They can have any culture that we want. Or we could have. They could have been Japanese influenced. They didn't have to be Chinese. But it would have upset the Chinese, and obviously Alan Adham and Mike Morhaime were like, maybe not. Soft shell plant. Damn, panda hate. Look out for the giant patrol. I'm okay. Whoops. That was not what I wanted. I thought that this guy was right beneath me. Did it queue? Did queue that. That's weird. Oh, they dropped them too. Oh my god. A 12 slot backpack. That's amazing. Falcom, I like the panda people. I think they're cool. I just wish they had been Sammy's original samurai influenced ones, because I thought that was more interesting. What is that Strider's patrol path? Chen Stormstout was an awesome hero in the Rexar campaign. Yes, he was. I mean, that's the thing about Sammy. Even if it's not like his original idea, he still does it. He does it fully. He goes all in. They can't have Panda Samurai. They could. It would just upset. It would upset certain people. I mean, all of Mists of Pandaria is kind of a blowy for for China, for lack of a better word. Sammy created that art and world. Blizz butchered it to make it breach the Chinese market. Well, yeah, maybe. Not going into depth here, but I thought the villain race, the Mogu and MOP, make a more nuanced representation. I'm not familiar enough with MOP to say one way or the other. I did play it, but only briefly, and I just wanted to try the monk character, and I didn't particularly like the monk playstyle, so. Still red. That's not good. How am I going to level my lock picking? All right, we've got competition here, so we got to book it over to the next one. Nope, he is way faster than me. He must have some sort of swim stuff on. Isn't there an island with a bunch of them? Maybe we go visit that island. Have you ever considered making a stream dedicated to tier lists of heroes, abilities, or other items in Warcraft 3? So I saw one streamer make a tier list of buildings, specifically which one is the most beautiful. It turns out the Bone Factory is missing a polygon in the back. What? It has other unexpected things. No, haven't really considered that. I don't know how interesting it would be coming from me. Since I haven't played Warcraft 3 in so long, I don't think that I'm really up to the minute on changes. So I don't think I would have that much that's interesting to add to the conversation, unfortunately. Mithril, you say? Where is it? There it is, hiding under a rock next to this guy. We are out of poison. Can we get this and get back up? Oh boy. It's not like we have a bunch of stuff in WoW based on races and cultures in real life. I know. I know. No, they were definitely pandering, so make no mistake. The pandas were pandering to China, which is fine, I guess. It just, I still like, I still would have preferred Sammy's original vision for it, because I liked Lone Wolf and Cub too. All right, and I'm getting very ambitious. Ugh, of course. Oof. Only took one hit from the drowning, but oof. All right, where's the... Here it is. Let's get the quest up. Excuse me. Damn, this is the longest poison I've ever seen. What was that, 40 seconds? 50? Yeesh. You'll make a fan fiction of for Warcraft 3 starring Kellen the designer. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you. I wonder though, Dave, what do you think? Now that pandas represent China, what about Japan? Could we possibly be looking forward to an upcoming Tanuki race? I mean, isn't that what the fox people are? Why is she bald? Oh. Wow! What the hell? I don't know what's causing that. Weird. All right, we need only Myrmidon and Sorceress left. So let's go find those. If and we can. I remember this island being part of the next segment of the quest. Just don't know. There it is. So that's a Myrmidon, yeah. These are most likely shader layer bugs at the junction of textures. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Requires Gem of the Serpent. Oh, that's right. These guys can drop that, I think. Maybe it already dropped? No. Yet. Oracle. Don't need. Oh, the poison. No! Alright. Shh. How annoying. It's a razor tail. Tide Hunter. Myrmidon. Out in the ocean. Merg. Volpera are desert gypsies. What? Did YouTube censor gypsies? Interesting. Not sure what was going through their head. I don't mind though. I like the idea, just like their design too furry. Yeah. I got nothing against furries. Just I don't know that they fit in Warcraft. It felt a little strange. Worgen almost felt strange, but kind of work because they're werewolves, and werewolves are pretty hardcore. In terms of metal and rule of cool, I think they still fit in the universe, but Volpera, a little too cutesy and weird. I would say the same for gnomes. I think it was a mistake to have them in Warcraft 2. What do you mean? What kind of accent is this? It's a troll accent. Oh, what the heck? You're making me crazy. I know, I know. It's better to be a furry than an effing panda. Werewolves are super cool. I agree. Werewolves, I think, totally work for Warcraft. Pandas, little less. I think they could have worked, but I definitely felt like the samurai aesthetic would have been more suitable. Maybe it's just me though. I don't know. You have no idea, Dave. I've been working on making a 3D modeling program. It's so tedious, and probably 4 to 5 more programs. What? You're just making a whole 3D program? What? I didn't know people still coded. I thought everyone just told the AI what they want. All right, do I have a quest for this guy or not? I don't think I do. Alma, no. I think I did, and I got rid of it. No, I wish I had kept it, because I would like to try killing him, but I also don't want to... I mean, I did just level, so now would be the time to try. Right, we need the shells, the clam shells. All right, let's go freaking hunting for those. If only I had gotten a ocean of water breathing. I know there's a quest for one. Gnomes will have their revenge and rename the Nobergon to Metzengon. Oh, damn. That will be extra funny if he leaves the company soon, which I suspect he might. Just based on the law brand thing becoming being revitalized. Not in line of sight. Really? Where are these sorceresses? Oh gosh, this is dangerous. You can't tell that AI to make a 3D program. It would suck ass as it is hard and it's soulless anyways. Well, everything that the AI does is soulless. By definition, it's soulless. But by spirituality, it also feels soulless. I don't know. On LinkedIn, there's like a contingent of AI enthusiasts who just keep posting bullshit about it. And it's like, wow, these guys are delusional. Like, they really believe it's going to completely take over everything. And I swear they're doing it because they're afraid of like the Rocco's basilisk kind of thing. That's what it feels like. It feels like they think if they don't support the AI now, that they'll be tortured in the future. That's what their posts look like to me, anyways. Maybe that's not what's really going on, but am I gonna get so much aggro? Yes, I am. What level? 33? Maybe not. No, he doesn't care. Good. Good. Follow me. Eh. What the? Oh, come on. He's faster than me in the water. How annoying. Can't even get a skill up. Bastard. Ugh. Ah. Camera's getting stuck in the water. 3 out of 10. If. What? Hold on. Were there any requirements when creating maps in terms of the artifacts the player receives and the enemy's strength? I assume you wouldn't be allowed to put the King's Crown at level 2. There was just a general guideline of like where we put things, and then I think it was Tim Campbell who eventually went back over them and made sure that we weren't dropping anything too weird early on. So there was like a balance pass on items being dropped, but generally we could literally drop whatever we wanted, and we could even make items and just drop those, which we didn't use to great effect until the Frozen Throne. I think that functionality didn't come online until late, and then for the Frozen Throne we used it quite a bit. So you'll find in like the Rexar campaign that there's funny little items. Like I think there was one item that's like literally just a squeaky toy that Tim put in somewhere. It's like a little penguin, and you just squeeze it and it makes a little noise, and it doesn't actually do anything else. And I think all sorts of rumors started about like, oh, if you take it here and you put it in this thing, like something happens. But no, I don't think there's anything. Ironically, if Tim wanted to do something like that, he probably would have asked me to do it because he typically relied on me for some of the triggers for his maps. You know, Tim Campbell's one of the only people who has kept up on the level design discipline, whereas I think I've fallen off. I think I am less skilled today than when I worked on Warcraft 3 in terms of level design abilities. I'm definitely much more expansive on narrative design and system design, and I would say my strongest suit now is writing. But like in terms of level design, I bet a lot of what I remember, a lot of what I could have done back in the day very quickly, I think would take me twice as long to get back up to snuff. I guess that just kind of happens naturally over time. Your skills atrophy if you don't keep up to date on them. Boo. Wait, someone said what on Twitter? Could you add a valley at the end of the map with a huge boss with 5,000 HP and 300 attack just for kicks? I mean, we could, but if you did something like that, you would definitely have someone get very angry and then you would get a bunch of negative feedback. So it's like, probably not worth it. Oh, jeez. I can't wait to get the throwing weapon combo point thing. Don't know what level you get that at. I think it's 60. It would be amazing to see you make maps in Warcraft 3. I think it would be pathetic. I think you'd be sad. Um, I think I've discussed potentially doing that in the past. The closest that closest I've come to that is just opening the old maps in Warcraft 3. I think I remember I opened up the culling and I couldn't help myself. I started editing the cinematic again as though it was like due for a project, and I was adjusting the timing on some of the lines. But I don't really see the point of doing that these days, just because uh, I think my skills have atrophied to the point where it wouldn't be as interesting as you probably think it might be. But I do encourage everyone to go look at those old Warcraft 3 Ask Me Anything videos, because I definitely opened up more than one mission and like walked through the triggers and tried to remember stuff. Abel Hawk did an amazing job editing them, because it's literally, in a couple cases, like 30 minutes of me trying to figure out what a trigger did in some cases, and then finally figuring it out, and then realizing it wasn't what I thought it was, and then having to go back through it and explain again something entirely different. You have no idea the depths I have seen. What? In terms of bad Warcraft 3 maps? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's plenty of awfulness out there. Oh my god. Stop being faster. I'll just kill them with the daggers. All right, we're done. No, wait, we're not done, because we need the clams. I think there's more clams on the other, near the boat. I'm gonna go to the boat. Actually, we're gonna drop blackmouth fishing trap and get these blackmouth. So are they blackmouths? Badunk Turtle Wow special. Fishing mod activated. Oh, come on. Seriously. I forgot, who was it that designed the huge panda boss in the Night Elf campaign? The one where you rescue Illidan? That was Tim Campbell. And I did the cinematic where you meet him. Where the one where you turn the corner. I definitely talked about that in the Warcraft 3 Ask Me Anything. I think I discovered that back then I had created it such that whichever unit triggers the cinematic is also the one who gives the line, and they each have their own line from their own repertoire of stuff when they see the panda. I'm not sure it works, to be honest with you. I kind of think it might not, because I remember it not working and never figuring it out, but it's still in there and it's enabled, so it should work. You were like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, we were doing crazy shit. We had so much fun making those maps. But that's back when you could have fun making stuff in a studio like that. As soon as it became more corporate, that sort of thing would probably get you in trouble because it would be considered a waste of time. You're just supposed to get your mission done. What are you doing? You know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I do wonder uh, what it's like now, like what the average day to day for a Blizzard employee is now. I don't imagine it. Well, A, they can't talk about it. That's for sure. Saying anything is like a corporate death sentence. Speaking publicly would get you in major trouble. Um, and showcasing anything from internal would get you fired immediately. So there's that. Back when I worked there, they were a bit more open, though I did get in trouble once. And when I say get in trouble, I mean like Mike Morheim took me aside and was like, please don't announce upcoming products in movie theaters like that again. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. But basically, it was during the Blizzard used to take everyone out to the movies, and during well, I was still in QA at the time. We were working on Diablo 2, and we went to see. Was I still? I can't remember if I moved into level design at that point. I think I was still in QA. We went to see Wing Commander. Wing Commander had come out in the theaters, so we went to see that movie. And in Wing Commander, there's like a perspective or thing that happens where like the camera, everyone freezes and the camera goes around 360 or whatever, or 180, just like in the Matrix, I guess. And when that happened, I shouted out D2 perspective mode, meaning, and this is like an internal joke that only people who worked at Blizzard would have understood at the time. D2 being Diablo 2, perspective mode being our fake 3D that they were putting into Diablo 2. So I shouted that out in a crowded theater, though it was in the middle of the day, so you know, there was only old people there and us being the Blizzard guys who were watching the movie together. But I did get reprimanded. It just wasn't an official reprimand. It was just don't do that. Don't do that. Do you think it's normal to eat Nagas, Murlocs in World of Warcraft since they're essentially smart fish? I think not. I think that it would be a form of cannibalism. There's no denying their sentience, so I think it would be frowned upon, though there are certainly trolls would. Trolls absolutely would dig in on Murloc and Naga no problem. So there's that. So I guess some of them would, for sure. Uh, Trolls will eat anything, let's be real. These guys clearly can drop the clams, so I'm gonna go ahead and take him out. He's a low level, but whatever. Damn it. I saw another clam meat over there. Same goes for Tauren. I don't think Tauren. I think Tauren are herbivores. Or, yeah, aren't they vegetarian? Do they eat meat? I don't think they do. I mean, they're cows, right? Or they're based on cows. Cows don't eat meat. I guess they can. I would think they would prefer vegetation. Being cow-like creatures. See, these are all things that Metzen should have resolved decades ago. Okay, where the F are these Meyergill? Shadowprey Village. Yeah. Grim Reaches. On the far edge of the... Okay, Grim Reaches. This is the Grim Reaches quest. No. We should go back to Grim Reaches, though. I suppose now we have a reason to. Since I think these are the last 3 quests that I can do here before I have to do elite stuff. So let's go back to Grim Reaches after we turn these in. And these are all turned in. Oh, that's Hemet Nesting. Fuck, we have to go to Stranglethorn Vale. All right, these 2 should be in Shadow Prey. Yeah, they are. And then we'll go to Grim Reaches, I guess. If a troll eats a leg, it's cannibalism. Trolls, elves, Naga, eaten by trolls. You're right. That would be cannibalism, but I don't think it would stop them. Trolls eat trolls, so no big issue there. Haven't they complained about the centaur driving off their game in Warcraft 3? What did they complain about, actually, in that mission? We would have to rewatch that. I don't remember. Is there a place where I could just look up the script? Or maybe that's a thing only we had been working on. Let me see. It's amazing. All right. Warcraft 3 full dialogue script. Game script. Game fac. Da-da-da-da. I am Karen, Chief of the Bloodhoof. I found it. It's on GameFAQ. Wow, they have the whole thing. That's amazing, actually. I'm going to share this with you guys because this is really cool. Now that you mentioned trolls or lore about them in general, I have a favorite YouTuber who uploads all the retail WoW in-game cinematics. It felt so off to say, what are they smoking would put... Well, I mean... Let me see. So he says... We've spawned... Okay, wait. My people deserve a land to call their own, Karen. Okay, War Chief, we've spotted a herd of marauders bearing down on us. Karen, the Kotas are overburdened and must rest. Why don't you remain here and protect the caravan? The caravan will never make it in time. Let the fury... Doesn't say anything about them running off. It's just that the centaur were attacking their caravan. Did I go past Shadowprey? No, I didn't. Yeah, no. I don't see anything about Centaur running off their game. Sorry, I'm reading it now. Oh, you're right. Thanks to you, young war chief, but the centaur drove off all the game in this region, and I cannot allow my people to starve. Oh, I guess they eat meat. Well, there you go. They certainly eat meat in World of Warcraft, so fair enough. Oh, you found it already. How weird. I don't think Chris thought about the implications of them being cow people and eating meat, but it is interesting, if not hilarious. Torin eat meat in Rexar's company. When you save Bane, Rexar talks to Tagar, who says that without meat and Succor, our tribe is doomed to die. All right. Fair enough. I learned something new today. I forgot. I think that's the thing, is just I forget all this shit. It's crazy. This is actually really good. I think I'll wear this. Oh, wait. That's 1% crit. Ooh. That's a lot of attack power, but that's a lot of crit to lose. So I think we will not for that. That's a bummer. I'm about to free up another slot here. What? Interrupted. I mean, they don't eat cow. They probably eat wild deer and stuff. Maybe Kodo too. We don't know. Maybe they're cannibals too. I mean, trolls are cannibals. Why can't Tauren be cannibals? Maybe they eat dead Tauren as like an ancestor worship thing. They do worship the Earth Mother, so certain IRL people eat the meat of primates too. Oof. Yeah. Isn't that dangerous? Doesn't that cause the prion disease? Well, I don't know. I'm speaking out of ignorance, so I probably should stop. It's all doomed. They mummify them? The Tauren mummify? What the frick? I mean, the trolls mummify some of their dead too. You can see that in the Amani. But other trolls have no problems eating their ancestors. GSPP. Oh, greater shadow projection potions. Ah. Zugzug is raiding. I am not raid ready yet, obviously. Raiding already? Dang, those guys are fast. Yeah, they seem to be quite on top of things, it seems. Obviously, I'm playing slow and steady, so I won't be joining them for quite a while. Getting to 40 was a challenge. Getting to 50s take forever. That's all right. The whole point is to quest along the way and enjoy the game. There's another thing about trolls that makes you think, uh-oh. Thinking about trolls, we're doomed. You can still find Tagar in WoW. It was added relatively recent. It's cute. It's great that it's still alive. Really? Where is Tagar? Is he in shoot, Thunder Bluff? I imagine he would be. You know, now that I'm 40, I could do Gilne. Why am I not doing Gilneas? I guess I'm trying to finish all the green quests before I do that. Oh, this is... Wait, hold up, hold up. I knew it. Shit. Well, these are raw. We're gonna... What are we gonna do? I need these. Naga scale. I want to keep those too. All right, here's what we do. Jump. Drop that. What? No, no, no. This. And then equip these. And then swap them because they fucked up. And then cook the fish. And then sell all the crap we don't need. And these are going to get shipped off. This needs to be cooked. That needs to be sent. This can be opened. Tagar is Karen's torn advisor. He tasks Rexar with killing the harpies to save Bloodhoof. He also tells Rexar about Bane because Karen is too depressed. I don't remember jack shit. Dude, it's like 20 years ago. I don't know where he is in WoW. I haven't seen it. Drala gets, who gets this knapsack? That's a good question. I think Drala should get this. All right, Drala gets that, and these, and this, and these. Loranaz gets these. And I forgot to give these to Drala, and I forgot to give these to Moranaz. Losing 5% XP, Dave says, is way too dangerous, as Goblin insurance doesn't cover paying those blue angels enough. Look, I'm just saying, I don't want to die. Dave is a classic green quester. I don't think I've ever seen him kill a red mob. What? No, I used to take all kinds of risks with Zenrai. But this one I just want to, the reason that I want to clear the green quests as much as I can is because I want to get every quest possible for Horde done before moving on while it gives XP, so that I don't have to come back and then do them again when they're kind of worthless, which is what I had to do with Zenrai. And then even though I did all that questing with Zenrai, Zenrai never got the final lore keeper, Seeker of Truth. Zenrai never got the Seeker of Truth title because I'm pretty convinced that Horde does not have enough quests to get to Seeker of Truth. But now I want to know for sure. So I took blacksmithing, and blacksmithing has the highest number of quests of any what you call it, trade skill. So if I'm gonna do it, it's this time. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. Tiger Bloodhoof can be found in Onaran Plains. What is that? I have no idea. What the hell is the Onaran Plains? Is that retail? That sounds like retail. Wow. What is that? Ugh. Oh shit, I didn't finish that. I don't even want these, but they are useful for alchemy, for leveling up alchemy. Dragonflight? Oh my god. The Onaran Plains is the second major leveling zone in World of Warcraft's Dragonflight expansion, named after the eagle wild god of the wind, Onara. Sounds made up to me. But all of Dragonflight sounds made up to me. But finally, the dragon furries got something they wanted to play, so good for them. If it's a dragon furry, can it really be called a furry? Shouldn't it be called a scaly? Shouldn't dragon and lizard and snake furry people be called scalies instead of furries? Or am I missing something? Or is it more the culture than it is the descriptive element? Or am I overthinking it? Probably overthinking it. Oh, I could have bought one of those. All right, let's go to the mailbox again. Should I send? Let's just send a stack of solid stone as well, just to get it out of my inventory. And 62. Okay, well, we can cook that on the way over there. Oh, we're low on poison again. We really go through it fast. All right, Drawla. Drawla's inventory is definitely going to fill up at the rate that I'm going. Dolgra. All right. I guess we'll hold on to those. And that's for a quest that I can go turn in before we go to Grim Reaches, I suppose. Actually, you know what? There's like 3 other quests that I need to do, now that I think about it. Wild God of the Wild. That's what it is? They call themselves Scalies? Oh, well, I mean, that makes perfect sense then. I'm clearly not up on the furry culture. It annoys that we can now fly wherever we want. I think flying is redundant in WoW, and mounts at least partially too. Players should always be running around on foot and exploring the world. I think it's okay because I think they give you mounts at generally high enough levels where it's like not a big deal because it doesn't negate the walking across the world, so you still go across the world and run into things. I wouldn't want to take away riding mounts simply because you need to get to raids in some amount of time that isn't, hours and days. Oh, someone got the Kroll Blade. Congrats. Shield Breaker Arbalist. Attacks ignore 35 of the target's armor. Interesting. Wait, what is the Kroll Blade? Gonna make ranking a little easier? Or are these PvP gear? I guess it might be. It annoys. Yeah, so flying I don't like at all. I like flight points. I don't think they needed to add. I don't think they needed to add flying mounts. I, I I mean all of Cataclysm was a mistake. That's for sure, but I think flying mounts in the base world was a big no. Big no. I think the biggest critique of flying is that it makes the world smaller. That's exactly the problem. It makes the world feel very small. And it also makes you feel very unsafe until you get it. And then once you have it, you feel so safe that the world doesn't feel dangerous anymore, which is sad. That element of danger, even on a mount where things might knock you. And why do I keep inviting people? It's when I'm hitting shift. I just can't think of what would cause that. Almost feels like a bug. Or I've assigned a key binding somewhere to something. Is there anything that's like an auto invite / invite? No results. Hardy? Inventory. Group? No. I do have Lazy Pig, but it's not in there, or at least I didn't see it. We can look at that again. I have auto accept on, but I'm the one inviting, which is like confusing me. Summon auto accept. Loot window auto position. Auto release. Idle while in BG or Q. Group invites acceptable. Guildmates or friends. I don't even have strangers on it. I'm inviting strangers left and right. And then they're auto accepting, so they must have something going on. Yeah, it's none of those. Is there a keybind for it? Maybe. Maybe that's causing the problem. Oh, here we go. No. Follow, inspect player bid auction, send mail, create auction, confirm pop-up buy auction, initiate accept trade. I had no idea. Sell gray, repeatable quest autocomplete, quest auto pickup. All right, none of these. Control Alt Shift is log out. All right, that's interesting. I'll have to look into those later, but no, it's none of that. So it must be one of my other add-ons, but I'm trying to think, what could it be? Peepo? Maybe item rack? No, it doesn't have any hotkeys, does it? Or does it? No, it does. But no, I don't see them. Super macro could be doing something, but I'm pretty sure I don't have any invite in any of my macros. Yeah, I don't see anything. Slash target miner. That's an odd one. I don't know. Shall remain a mystery for now, I suppose. Strange. I think players should be given air mantas when they need to fly to a raid spot. That stupid thing in WoW where you have to run in Kalimdor from Northrend after the raid is accepted is just absurd. There are certain things that could use an additional flight point, yeah. Already known. I already picked all these up. Could get the scrolls of protection though. Those actually could help a lot. Agility would have been nice, but I guess that guy stole them all. MFer. $10 slot. 2 gold for a 10 slot. Nonsense. This guy's defending the Kodo. Yes. He cares about them. Clearly. I always imagined these world designers meticulously adding Easter eggs, cool world events, and quests only for players to fly up over it and miss it. Yeah, precisely. I mean, that would be the problem. If you're not down in the world, actually like living and moving around in it, you're gonna miss all the really cool stuff that people put in there. Once you can fly over everything, you just fly from point to point. It's like imagine that every single thing you had to do in the game you had a flight point for. That's what a flying mount is. And to me, that absolutely A shrinks the world, but B makes it just kind of a uninteresting place to be. Because you don't even care anymore what's going on the ground. You're just like, is that my quest? It's just funny how they just funny how they sort of missed the implications of adding flying mounts. Like why even create all this terrain and zones and stuff if you're just going to fly over it? I think they're trapped in the thinking that since they have flying mounts, they have to have it in every expansion. And then what they end up doing in every time, and it's so immersion breaking and just doesn't make sense from a narrative perspective, is like, oh, you have to learn flying all over again. So you have to walk through the zone initially, and then you'll learn flying, and then you can fly over the zone. And it's like, what? It's just so narratively disconnected for me. Even if you try to explain it in that, like, oh, it's a special kind of training, and we only give it to max level characters because they're the only ones who can handle it. It's stupid. It ends up feeling very contrived, and it's just not making any sense. Immersion breaking. I think I'll just stick with that. Kind of new on my streams, coming from AbleHawk DC server. Hey, you doing, Tamaz? Yeah. I'm just playing Turtle WoW private server version of World of Warcraft. Though it's called Capybara Paradise, I guess is the server name. It's in Southeast Asia, so might not be appealing for you, and I don't necessarily recommend that you get involved in private server stuff because there's always the risk of losing everything, but if you want, it's available. You can find it online. TBC was a fascinating expansion, but I think it made two great errors: flying mounts and the error of the first expansion. It funneled everyone into the same zones, invalidating the old world entirely. Yes. That's the other thing it does. It shrinks the world even further because now everyone is constrained to the new zones, or they feel like they're constrained to them because that's where all the new materials are, and that's where all the new quests are, and that's where all the new drops are. So it gets rid of the old world, and that's problematic. Whereas the way that Turtle WoW was building this version of Classic, they were adding on to the world in all sorts of ways. They were adding new zones for lower level characters. They were adding new raids, new dungeons for lower level characters, or for slightly higher, but not like so much higher items and things. They did it what I would consider the right way. And 60 being max is great because then you know what you're going to experience, and then once you hit 60, you know you never have to necessarily worry about that character again in terms of losing. Like, all the raids and stuff you do all have meaning at that point. Every item you get that is important to your character never loses its value. In some cases it can be replaced by a better item, but generally speaking it never loses its intrinsic value for level 60. It became less of a World of Warcraft and more an Island of Warcraft, and you really feel that in retail expansions later. Yeah, for sure. Okay, wait, what? Oh, wait, no, I did do that. Oh, did I never take this? Oops. I thought I did that already. Now I'm confused. I knew I missed a few of these. 2 blood belly fish. Here you go. Oh, choose my reward. What do I want? Don't really want any of these things. I guess the mithril ore. No, you know what? Mage Weave Cloth. At least it was expensive in TBC, and the slow one was really slow, slower than the ground mount. Really? Are you interested about what Classic Plus is going to be, or are you full anti-Blizz? I'm full anti-Blizz, but I'm still curious what Classic Plus will be. It's not like, the thing is, I'm anti-corporate Blizz. I still believe in the developers there. Some, well, certain ones anyways. And I want them to succeed and basically prove that they've still got talent if the executives would just get the fuck out of the way. But that can be difficult. Find and defeat the spirit of Palkeote. Oh. All right, yeah. I didn't do any of these quests. I guess I should have paid more attention. Because I could have done several of these, I think, before this. Oh well. All right, let's put this on my bar so I don't forget it. Not all level 60s are equal. A person who just hit level 60 in questing greens and a raid geared level 60 are not the same, obviously. Character levels get replaced with item. For sure. But what I'm saying is that Turtle WoW did a very good job of, like, as you go on successive raids, the weapons incrementally are better. So yes, someone who raids what you call it, Molten Core obviously is going to have be a couple steps down from someone who raids Nextramus uh, or Timbermaw Hold or any of the new ones. Um, the Tower of Karazhan. We need something new to laugh at the CEOs with. I think they're all becoming stupid because I think they're all using AI. And like, if you watch interviews with Sam Altman, he's definitely degrading over time. And I don't mean degrading in that he's like mean to, he's dehumanizing people, but he is dehumanizing people. He's degrading human beings. But I mean more that he just seems to not be all there anymore. And I think it's because they've become overly reliant on AI stuff. All right, so this is not good, and this is not for here, and this is an elite, and this is an elite. Okay. And that's in Grim Reaches. Maybe I should have just gone to Grim Reaches then. This one I can complete just by going over there. Let's try to kill Palkeote. I think I know where he is. I don't know that I can do it, but I want to give it a go. I think he might be immune to poison, though. That's my big fear. If he's immune to poison, it's definitely not doable for me. Oh, in regard with the coming of Classic Plus? Yeah, no, I think I answered that. Wait, what? You didn't say anything about Classic Plus before. Well, we can always laugh at the CEOs. They don't feel anything anyways. They're psychopaths. They would probably think you're laughing with them. It's like Jeff Bezos whenever he laughs and everyone gets weirded out because his laugh is so fucking strange and forced. And there's no one left to tell these people that they are clearly out of control because anyone in their immediate vicinity is going to have to kiss their ass to make a living. The only ones who will like put them straight is each other, and then they just hate each other anyways, and they just assume the other one is crazy. Like Sam Altman and Elon Musk are in some sort of weird feud, but they both just sound like crazy people to me. If you want to see what these people actually think, they write books about their psychotic dreams and the dystopian future that they wish upon us all. So it's not even a mystery. It's literally just these are straight up psychopaths who want to control the world, and they don't mince any words. They flat out say that they imagine a future where they are like effectively rulers over us plebs, and they control everything. It's amazing because they do this shit in interviews too. There he is. Oh shit, level 39. 9k HP. All right. I said I'd try it. This is going to be painful if I don't do it. I reserve the right to stealth out if it doesn't go my way, though. Let's get a food buff, too. I think I need every possible advantage here. What else do I got? Anything else? Oh, yes. Black Label. All right. Here we die. I mean, go. Is he immune? I can't tell. Oh my god, he's wrecking me. Oh my god, he's wrecking me. This is not happening. Goodbye. Yeah, my evasion was going to wear off in another second, and I'm pretty sure he would have one-shot me at that point. What the f was he hitting me for? Combat log. So, dodge, 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 parry, dodge, dodge. 382. Ook. Is that a crit? Yeah, that was the crit. He was critting for 382, almost 400. Yeah, I was not going to survive that. I am disappointed. I do not feel as powerful as Zenrai, but then Zenrai, I think I'm just remembering all the time that I was level 60 and I could basically do whatever. All right, we're going to Grim Reaches then, because there ain't nothing we can do here. We'll stop by the Gelkus and finish the Alliance quest, I think, and then we'll see. You're excited about Classic Plus personally? I think there's a huge opportunity to create something fun. Yeah, Vanish is OP, yes, I agree. Feign Death and Vanish are both fun. That was weird. What was that? I'm just running. Strange. You watched the trailer for Unreal Azeroth and saw I was credited with the voice. That's right. It was me. How you doing, Rodfather? Good to see you again. Are you still playing Cappy? What are you up to? So yeah, I did the voice for the trailer for Unreal Azeroth. Cenarius reached out to me for that, and said, "Well, I mean, you did the previous one." And that's true. I did the Turtle WoW 2.0 trailer, so I thought I would reprise my role. Least I could do for people who are building cool shit. And I hope that everyone's checking out Unreal Azeroth and throwing support his way, because he is building effectively an add-on, I would say, because it's not he's not hosting the servers or anything. He's not running any servers. He is running it. He is what do you call it? Embervale is the private server that it will be using Unreal Azeroth as a client, so you can get it that way if you sign up on the Embervale website, which I believe is embervale.org. Let me check on that. Yep, embervale.org. You can check it out there if you're into that sort of thing. I don't know when it'll be public. I just know that it's soon. You've played WoW beta builds, and the fact that Rogue used to have Feign Death is just so hilarious to me. When did they have Feign Death? What? As if their kit needed even more utility. Well, I mean, the original one was like everything was skill based, so I don't think I ever figured this one out. Place one between the two big skeletons in the Valley of the Dead Glass. Ghosts will wander to it. Okay, I'm gonna check into that. You're still on Cappy? Almost 50 on a hardcore shaman fisherman? Damn. Hardcore. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do hardcore. But congrats. Looking forward to seeing your level 60 message, which goes out server wide. Rogues had Feign Death originally and used a reagent called the Death Capsule to be cast. Oh, that's kind of funny. But I don't, did they have that over vanish or both? Because I imagine, does anyone know where this actually is supposed to be placed? Between the Dead Goliaths and the Valley of Bones. Valley of Bones? That's this. Is this? What is it? Kodo Graveyard. The Valley of Bones. Valley of Bones. Valley of Bones. Valley of Bones? Valley of Bones. Valley of Spears. Kodo Graveyard. Is it up here? Son of a bitch. I don't know where it is. They had both. It was OP as fuck. Yeah, no kidding. That would be OP as fuck to have both. Vanish is enough. Vanish is more than enough, especially since you can get a cooldown reset with subtlety, uh, with preparation. Rogue also had Trip, which is a spell you use on NPCs occasionally, like the Defias Bandits in Elwyn, which was 25 energy spell that generated a combo point and stun for 2 seconds. Oh my god. Well, I tell you, there were certain people who obviously wanted their class to be the most OP thing ever. And some people had the ear of the person making all the classes more than others. So Rogue and Warrior were always, I think, problematic early on. Warrior had a spell that instantly gave them 60 rage with a 5-minute cooldown. Lovely. All right, this says captures the spirit of the nearest burning blade member. If target dies while being drained, the caster gains 1 infused burning gem. Dies. You there. Let's try it out. Oops. Okay. I didn't expect them to die quite that fast, but let's see. Oh, I got both. Fuck. Oh, that's some bullshit. No, 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 no. Come here, come here. Wait, how am I going to kill him? Wait. Wait. No. Fuck. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to deal damage? Deadly poison? Maybe? Oh, I don't have any. All right, fuck. All right, this is boned. We don't have a way to kill them without using melee attacks at this point. So I need to figure something else out. All right, where the frick is the Valley of Bones? I'm imagining it's this one area that I haven't gone to. This area or this area? Nigel's Point is that's the Alliance town, so it's not that one. There. If it isn't there, I'll be surprised. It wasn't super fleshed out, but I appreciated the thought of giving Rogue a lot of throwing knife abilities in SOD. Yeah. I always thought that they should have a ranged talent tree. And you could do like bows and stuff. And like crits, crit bow kind of stuff. It does step on Hunter a little bit, but Turtle put in the melee Hunter and it doesn't affect me as a rogue at all. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Okay, that is not a path. There's those stupid bone paws. I know I need them for something later on, but okay, I've gone the wrong way. This is not it. Not it at all. What's the lore behind this? How is there a long depreciated orcish stronghold full of burning blade and Desolace at this point? I know. Well, they just haven't gotten around to murdering them. Most of your quests are about, like, breaking them down. It would make sense there'd be some vestiges of the burning blade and stuff. I just don't know how they got to Kalimdor. Maybe they sailed west too. Maybe Medivh came to the burning blade and was like, you must sail west as well. Maybe Medivh isn't good. Warcraft 3 must be remade 100 times. Oh, what the shit? It was Shift 3. Something 3. Shift 3V? Shift 3V? Something did it. Alright, I don't know what did it. Something did it. It's so weird. Yeah, You have invited Fallout to join your group. Fallout joins party. I can't figure this out. Medivh was playing both sides. Indeed. What trickery. Guardian of Tirisfal, my ass. Goldvein. Shit. Oh, wait. Nah, fuck it. All right. Let's see. I think this just goes into the next area, though, doesn't it? Stone Talon. What's up here? Strange. Medivh had a son called Medan, I think. Oh god. But I can't remember any of the Warcraft lore community. Oh, they hated him. They called him Metzen's fanfiction Balik. What? I've heard the tale of Medan, and yeah, it's I don't know how something like that happens. Wasn't he like the love child of Medivh and Garona too? Which is like super weird. Because wasn't Medivh inhabited by a demon at that time? Sargeras? Or I don't know. The whole thing is weird. Weird and questionable. Tethras Aran. What? Oh. Hmm? Oh. That's a Maldarok. He's only got 5,000 HP. I think I might be able to... Well... I'm considering potentially trying. Let's see if... yeah, okay, Vanish is up. So we could give it a go. No reason not to, right? He's some comic book mega superhero that can do literally anything. I hate those. It's like a Mary Sue, then. Yeah. What's his deal? I think he casts a lot of spells. I'm trying to remember what I did with Zenrai, and if I was able to defeat him or not. Let's keep... Oh, wrong one. Let's get the food buff back. We've still got protection. I think the main issue is just that he does spell damage, and so I have to prevent that as much as I can. What else do we got? That's really it. All right, let's try to pull him away. I don't want to necessarily... Oh my god, he casts Fireball. Yeah, okay, we can play him a little bit. Not bad. Okay. Dave doesn't understand why there are random people invited to his group. Little did he know he once signed a paper forcing him to play a random role for the invited. What? Cartel knows where he leaves the group. They always know. Oh, when I leave the group. I don't remember signing things ever. Oh, we're still missing some area. Where the hell am I on the map? Tethys around is... Okay, I see. I'm under the text. All right, so it's the... I'm still missing the alliance reveal, so let's try and poke that if we can. Anything beyond Wrath of the Lich King, basically I don't care. Understandable. Yes, it is. I very much understand that. Not really anything after Wrath was weird and fanficky. After Legion, when Metzen left, Alex Afroclowny said, you know what, we can do worse. He sure did. Both in terms of how he treats other employees and in terms of what he did with the lore. I think that I think that some people like what he was trying to do with the orc stuff, but the whole fighting Thrall direct, like the whole thing just is weird. Like what is it a metaphor for? Like usually these writers are who are bad. Usually these writers who are bad are self-inserting for some reason. I almost feel like he hated Metzen like internally and wanted to get rid of him and eventually succeeded. And that's when things went really bad for Warcraft in general. Without Grandpa Metzen there to take care of things. Hey, we got it. Thank God. I did not want to go up to those guards. They're like level 60, aren't they? 45. Okay. It's not that bad. Probably could have snuck past them, but better not to tempt fate. The whole of BFA felt so forced and weird and didn't really make sense. Yeah, that's the thing. He was an amateur writer at best. So the narrative didn't really fit with what he was trying to do. I just don't know how he ended up. I mean, I do know how he ended up having so much power over what they were doing, but it was primarily nepotism because he was in Legacy of Steel. And that was the EverQuest guild that Pardo kept hiring people from because they know MMORPGs, and it's really hard to find MMORPG experience in people, so we may as well hire guys who know literally nothing about game design. These guys have no game design or narrative writing experience, so let's hire them because they didn't work on, they played EverQuest. It's insane. It's just insane. The whole thinking, the whole mindset is just insane. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, but also it's just fucking wrong. Oh, god damn it. What am I doing? All right, blacksmith hammer. You're cheap. That was the beginning of the end. Then Shadowlands came. Yeah, Shadowlands is still by far the worst. I don't know why it was the worst though, because Christy Goldie's a good writer. Is it Goldie or Golden? Christy. Anyways, she's a good writer. I know she is. I've read Lord of the Clans, the book about Thrall, and that was good. And she knows what she's doing, story-wise and character-wise. I just don't know what the fuck Shadowlands was like. Whose core concept was that? Something. It's just so sad. Something was very sad and wrong about it. Multiple things. Oh, Moradon. Ah, frick. What are we gonna do? I can grab Shadowpree Village. I can grab this on my way back because I have to go there anyways. And by then we'll have turned in the Gelkis one. So we'll have a free slot. You just reminded me of Green Jesus. Poor Thrall. They did him and Malfurion dirty. They sure did. Metzen had to come back and voice that. Can you imagine? Oof. I mean, that is probably how that. If this conversation actually happened, Bobby Kotick in an interview said that he had a conversation with Chris Metzen and discovered that Chris didn't like what they were doing with the story. And this was around that era. And Kotick claims he told Metzen to come back and fix it then. So he's trying to claim credit for Metzen's return. The problem I see there is just that Metzen would not have come back because Kotick was there. And so I'm almost certain that there was some agreement between Chris and Phil Spencer that Kotick would be removed. I think that's the only way that Chris Metzen would have agreed. But that's my reading of things, so I don't know how much basis in fact that has. It's just my feeling based on what I know about Chris. Christy Golden. Yeah. Christy Golden's a good writer. I don't know what happened with Shadowlands in terms of like who was so insecure that they felt the need to one up everything, and in that particular manner that they did it, where they effectively retroactively weakened the story of Warcraft 3 overall. Just doesn't make sense from a writing perspective. But what can we do? They've essentially retconned Shadowlands themselves. I think that I don't know. So the Sylvanas they always use as like a foil for whatever people are thinking. But they effectively have said that Shadowlands is not what it seems. It's like a fake death, but then it's not going to make sense for like, why was Uther there? And was that really Uther? Or is it all a figment of imagination of some individual who went there first? Or like, what the fuck? Maybe they can explain it all away, but it's going to feel very contrived and it's not going to work out the way that they probably think. If anyone can pull it off, though, it might be Chris Metzen. So he is there. We don't know what he's doing with the next thing, but I hope it's a world reset. I keep praying for a world reset. I thought Shadowlands would be a world reset, but boy, did they manage to disappoint me with that. But maybe this time. I feel like Blizzard is Charlie Brown, or I'm Charlie Brown, or we're all Charlie Brown, and Blizzard is holding the football as Lucy. It feels like that because it's like, oh, this time it's going to be better. Look, we got Chris Metzen back. It's going to be better. It could have been Steve Denuser. He was narrative lead after Alex got kicked out, and also he had his self-insert be Sylvanas' boyfriend. I know. I'm aware of the Denuser legacy. Then that Dark Ranger, what was his name? Nathano something? I don't know. It was sad. That's sad too. It could have been Steve Denuser who set all that up, and then Christy Golden got handed it, and then I think Christy Golden got the blame. Because honestly, if I had run into that sort of shit, I would have rewritten it all. I would have been like, nope, I don't care where you are in production. We will repurpose these assets and stuff. I'm rewriting this. There's no way I'm letting this fly. This whole jailer thing needs to go out the window. Nathanos, right? Which is Thanos with a na at the beginning. So I wonder if he was watching Marvel movies. Anyways, it was cringy AF, not just regular F. It was F quadruple plus. It was a quadruple F product. Is that what you're saying? I agree. Just don't want to spill everything all over my keyboard. I've done it once. It's probably eroding, and that's why I'm having trouble with certain keys, but I'm going to have to replace this keyboard at some point in the near future. It's just very difficult to find good Wi-Fi, what you call it? Ergonomic, good Wi-Fi ergonomic keyboards. There's only really one. It's from Logitech. I mean, the Microsoft has one, and it's good too, but prefer Logitech's. Nathanos Blightcaller. He also 1v2'd Malfurion and Tyrande. What? And that was while Tyrande was empowered by a loon? That's so dumb. Yeah, that's clearly a stand-in character. This is why I say a good writer never puts a stand-in character for themselves, because they are always going to do something stupid with it. Elemental Yasugi. What are you talking about? Far to the north? Is this another elite? Yep. I think we got lucky with the previous one. I don't know that I could do it again. Don't know what this the shit? Oh, yeah. Okay. Complete. Oh, hello. 6 bags of crudely dried meat? They store extra meat so they may fight longer between hunts? What the fudge? Oh, we're doing this right now. I thought I was leaving, but I'm not. Let's stop into the town since we're here and clean up. Oh, just want to buy 36 slot bags, but I'm not going to do it until I'm 60. Oof. Hmm. Oh, this true silver seems to consistently spawn exactly there. Oh no, wait. There's 2. Hmm. How dare you? Ah, Shadowprey Village. My new home, it seems. And let's read up on that dried meat quest because I'm 6 bags. I guess it's some spawn on the ground, but to have a +6 agility throwing weapon, even though it's lower in terms of DPS, it's 6 agility on a throwing weapon is kind of ridiculous. Did Metzen write the World Saga? No. I think he's been adjusting it, but it was already mostly in place in terms of like assets, art assets were done, and all this other stuff was done that he had to sort of follow along. He might have gotten some last minute fixes on the first part. I suspect he split it into 3 chapters so that he could maybe do some more writing on the second and third chapter before anything else happened. So, though I don't know specifically how that all went down, uh, I do believe Bobby Kodik's story that Metzen was unhappy with what he was seeing. So that certainly makes sense that he would not be happy. Oh man, I really don't have any inventory space, do I? Let's just send all the 20 stacks to Dolgra, and we can get them back later. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we'll melt that down. Okay. Bah. What version of WoW is this? This is Turtle WoW, the final version that the Turtle WoW team did. It has not been updated in any way, shape, or form by the Capybara crew, as far as I know. Though I did hear a rumor that they patched some stuff, but I think it's all server side, so I don't know about that. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Mah. Oh. I think if the story in retail is to be salvaged, the World Saga should not just be rewritten by Metzen. The World Saga should be a retelling of what happened to Blizz. What? Well, Metzen was there by him, obviously, in fancy nods and metaphors, of course. I'm sure it will be. You'd be amazed how some of these stories are definitely linked to Chris Metzen's personal experiences. I've mentioned it before in the Warcraft 3 Ask Me Anything series, but there's a lot of stand-ins for drug addiction in there because of his personal experiences. I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind me saying that. Though I don't know that he recognized that as such, now that I think about it. No, I'm sure he must have. But yeah, there's a lot of X is addicted to Y in the storylines. High elves, for example, being addicted to magic. Magic being the stand-in for drugs, it seems. But let's leave these here. And this I should have sent off, but whatever. Some sort of guild drama. I don't know what's going on. Wow. I assume you might be reacting to the drug addiction metaphors in Warcraft. There's a few of them. The orcs being tainted by the demon blood. I don't know. There's something going on. Some sort of thorny drama. some sort of conflict with another guild. I don't know what's going on. I wasn't paying that much attention earlier. That guild poached from us and made our raid have 0 casters? Okay, well. I don't know. I don't want to get involved. I have no idea what's going on. I want to get dried meat. Roll that fellweed joint, Mon. Yeah, no kidding. A quest. Is this the one to guide him? Or to protect him? I think it is.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yay. Oh, boo. What? I thought surely there would be... Scheiße. It's going to be a Baylor quest then. I'd have to go to Drekthar for that. I already did some of that. All right, it's going to be you. We'll have to go to Drakthul again.
Got the best deals anywhere.
Let's re-up my poisons. I actually don't know what this quest entails in terms of what monsters come out at you. The real question is, are they faster or slower than walking? It looks like they're the same speed. It just looked like another goblin in the lineup. I don't remember what attacks the caravan either. It'll be interesting one way or the other. Cork Gizzleton.
I got what you need.
No, shit, what the fuck? Oh god. Wasn't expecting that. They just spawned in the middle of them. That was interesting. Maybe we can eat a fish. Yeah. Shh. Okay. Don't kill them. I thought that Kodo was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. They only have 1400 HP, so these guys can die pretty quick, I would think. Amani forest trolls? What? Oh, given that the Dark Spiritual leans towards Caribbean, Jamaican archetypes, I wonder where are the Latin Cuban stereotypes? There are none as far as I know. Zandalar is Aztec. Yeah, maybe the Amani? I don't know though. Because if you can go talk to the Amani, I don't think they had any particular accent inflection. Ah, well, no one died yet. Let's go. 1997. Oh, it's done. That's it? Not sure what we thought we needed the likes of you. Oh, what the hell? Speak with Smeed Scrabble Screw? Who? Where? Scrabble Screws Camp. That's the guy up here, isn't it? Yeah. It was along the way. What race in WoW likes ice cream and socialism? What? What's a good stand-in for that? Uh, ice cream and socialism? Gnomes? Gnomes. Gnomes like ice cream and socialism. They're effectively a commune. They share everything. 69. Nice.
Right back.
All right. Oh, I should have taken the quest again. The repeatable quest to kill the Magrum. Oh well. And cigars. Yeah, gnomes like cigars. They like everything that reminds them of being machines. So being able to spew smoke again is very comforting to them. Also, the Dark Spirit Trolls in Warcraft 3 were originally planned to be forest trolls again. Sort of. That's why the headhunter says you want to buy a cigar, and Batrider's saying El Fuego, baby. I wouldn't go that far. Batriders weren't done till TFT, so for sure by the time they were done, they were not forest trolls. So that don't make no sense. We'll just kill him because he's easy. All right, where's the meat? Bags of meat. Is it not bags of meat? What is it? Oh, there's one. Literal sack of meat. Perfect. Okay. I was worried for a second there. I mean, it still gives faction, so there's no reason not to. What the? Is that a bag of meat? That looks like a bag of meat. It's not, though. No, it's not. It's a fake bag of meat. That's annoying. Resist? There's not enough bags of meat around here, that's for sure. There... nope, that's fake too. What the frick? Alright, that one's real. I hate that so much. What the fuck? Dick move. Dick move, area designer. Or the quest guy. One of them picked matching things, and it's not cool. Hunter does have a Cuban accent, and his annoyed quotes are all references to Cuban stuff like Tony Montana, cigars, and the Cuban character from I Love Lucy. Yeah, but you have to bear in mind that the people writing that stuff were white as the driven snow, so they probably had no idea what the difference was. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. It's life fruit. You're bouncing between laundry, cleaning the apartment, and working on a new video while watching Dave. That is the way. This is the way. So how did the Mandalorian and Grogu movie do? Is it worth yarring, or should I not bother? I really liked the first season of the show, and like the second was good-ish, and then the yeah. Anyways, how was the movie? Would anyone recommend it? I guess is the question. But all the bags of meat over here. What's going on? It's 2 in a row. It's amazing. You heard it sucked, but you haven't watched it. Okay. You did not play it back then, and if we're talking about 2003 games, I wouldn't recognize difference in accents. I didn't even know English back then, let alone recognize details. Yeah, I'm just saying that there was no one from that culture on the team to sort of distinguish a difference between these things. It's one of the reasons that I think diversity in terms of like having people from different cultures on a team is a good thing, because it's dangerous not to. I would want that feedback that it's like you're mixing weird cultures here and it doesn't make sense. But I mean, you can always, and probably back then did, fall back on the idea that it's a fantasy world, so they can be of any mix of cultures. But ultimately, if you're attempting to imitate one culture, you should at least be consistent in that. And I don't think that they were. They just went for what was funny and recognizable, which in the US, there were all kinds of messed up mixes of stereotypes and things. So, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, come on. Dickish area design. I hope it wasn't Bo. If it was Bo Bell, I'm gonna be mad at him. What's the last movie I saw? Obsession was the last movie I watched, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very good. And it's a horror movie, which is not a genre that I'm traditionally super excited about. But in this case, they did so goddamn well with the acting. Indy Navarra, I think her name is, was so good. And they really exposed, I guess you would say, some of the fears of modern dating in both men and women, and just the whole friend group is so toxic in ways that like a surface reading of the movie isn't enough. You have to dig a little bit deeper, and I love that when you have to just go a little bit deeper and to find all of the hidden meaning and messaging. I'm not even sure how much of it was totally intentional, but he left just the right amount of space for people to make their own interpretations. And that's a rare gift in modern movie making. They're either so ham-handed or believe that they treat you like you're dumb. Like they treat the audience like they're dumb. The last season of Stranger Things, oh god, that was a painful watch. Like I could barely enjoy it. I tried really hard because I wanted to like at least finish out mediocre, but it really got on my nerves. If you like digging deeper for all the symbolism and messaging, then yeah, you'd love the Odyssey. I'm sure I will, and I will. It's on my list, so I'll get to it. I just don't know when, because I have to find a good yar to watch it, and sometimes that takes a while. If they're particularly careful, sometimes you have to wait for it to release on a hard copy. What are they going to do? Are they going to get rid of all DVDs? Like Sony is going to remove the PlayStation's disk drive. Are they going to stop selling movies on hard disk? Like no more Blu-ray? Is that really their plan? I don't know if you guys remember this, but the PlayStation 1 was the biggest driver of DVD sales in history. Like if not for the PlayStation 1, DVDs would not have caught on the way that they did. People would have stuck to VHS for like another 5 years, I think. And I don't know if they forgot that component of their history, because I'm pretty sure that the PlayStation 3, 4 was the biggest driver of Blu-ray sales as well. They want to stop selling consumer copies, I'm sure. Well, they want everything to be a license. Have you Yard Obsession? What be your aisle of choice? Yes, I did Yard Obsession. It was, which I feel bad about because it's really good. I wonder if there's a way. I liked and subscribed. Maybe that's enough. What is my Yar of choice? 1 second. My Yar of choice these days. Where are you? I have it in a hidden folder. 1 second. Maybe too well hidden. Jesus. Ah, it's called rargb.to. So rargb.to. That's my Yar of choice. Depending on your region, you might have difficulty with it, so you may have to use a VPN. I also cannot vouch for the safety of it or anything you download from there. Just beware and careful. As Dark Spears were my favorite race, their culture really got me interested in certain Caribbean voodoo and African culture stuff as a teen. I'd made it A+ school projects of it back then. Yeah. I was researching voodoo stuff not too long ago for totally unrelated reasons, not Warcraft. And I discovered some interesting things about voodoo that made me understand how poorly voodoo has been interpreted over the years. So the idea of a voodoo doctor, right? You know the voodoo doll that you stick the pin in? Apparently the reality of what a voodoo doll is, it's not a cursed object with which you cause someone else pain. It is in fact a way for a doctor who doesn't necessarily read or write to be able to indicate on a patient where they have been having pain and to check in with them. So you have a doll of that person who comes into your practice to get medicine and treatment. And then they go, okay, so where does it hurt? And then they put a pin on the doll on where the pain is. They prescribe something and they say, come back in a week. They come back in a week and they grab their doll off the wall. Ah, do you still hurt here? No? Okay, they take the pin out. How are you feeling this time? It's a tracking tool, not a cursed object. And I was like, oh my God, that's fucked up that we thought. Anyways, it's just amazing. The assumptions and the racism inherent in misunderstandings of other cultures. Sometimes I think done purposefully to keep people away, but whatever. The only way you can overcome these sorts of things is through knowledge, which is why it's so important to learn about other cultures and invest some time into really analyzing, like critically thinking about, like, that doesn't sound quite right. I wonder what the reality of the situation is. Sony will release a new console. That movie is Blu-ray quality. The Obsession that I downloaded was 1080p. So I'm not a like video file. I do have a nice TV that for 4K viewing, but I'm not obsessed with getting the perfect picture or anything. Sony will release a new console which will eat CDs, Blu-rays, and so on. Eventually, if you feed your console enough, it'll go and start eating everything you have in your room. Fascinating. I would love to see that, actually. That sounds like a horror movie. Until you're only left with cloud-based subscriptions. Wonderful, isn't it? Well, that's where Xbox is going. They're testing out right now the free version of Game Pass, wherein you will get ads and you'll only be able to play for an hour. Knowledge and life experience. Travel, yes. Travel. It is the best thing you can do. Though I know that in America, they actively work to make it impossible for Americans to travel. I mean, these days, the American passport is probably sliding down the scale of where people will let you in because of all these tariffs that pissing off various other countries. Son of a bitch. Where did that thing go? I can learn it too. Fuck, where is it? That's a scroll. That's a scroll protection. Let's put this up here. Actually, let's just use it. There, we got 2 spaces back. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. 1% of damage dealt is returned as healing, and your attacks ignore armor. I'm just gonna kill these on the way back. Oh, they're immune to poison, right. I gotta say that's a pretty genius way for doctors to use it. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have writing in your culture, then a representation of a person and taking notes with a pen makes a lot of sense. And it's just funny because of the racist connotations of like, oh, they've made a voodoo doll of you. They're going to curse you and make you feel pain with the doll. Like, it's clearly to stigmatize the entire culture. It's just gross. And then once you understand that, you're like, oh, this is really gross. why would they do that? Racism, that's why. And then you get to be sad. Just don't be racist. Microsoft Game Pass, it's free and cheap for now. It's free and cheap for now until they're the only game in town, then they fuck you. That has been the pattern in capitalism for 60 years. People are dumb. Yeah. Well, the example I pointed to was Netflix, where they didn't have a free model, but their lowest subscription, they added ads on. And now it's just kind of a nightmare. And it's so obvious that's exactly what Xbox is going to do. They're going to try this free version with some ads, and then it's going to be a lot more ads. Kiss app, how you doing? 5 gifted memberships. for Tamas Bod, A Summer Day, Phil H, Gotango, I can't say that, and Bond Pair. Be sure to thank KissF when you get the chance. You now have access to the members only videos. And soon I'll probably have some videos about what I'm doing with Warcrotch. KissF is the goat of the channel, that is for sure. Did I miss a question? I don't think I did. Bruiseweed. Okay, get rid of that. So yeah, they're just gonna increase the number of ads every single time until we're screwed. You're so happy you own a gaming computer. You're bittersweet when it comes to younger gamers looking to get into the hobby. Hardware is bullshit expensive. Consoles endlessly F you. Yeah, it's kind of totally a mess now. Oh shit. Yeah, where's Dr. Steven Goon vibes? He would love Warcrush, I'm sure. I'm sure he'd be my biggest supporter of it. I'm just sad that I wasn't able to get my hands on a 4090 before all this nonsense began. There was a short time period where the 4090 dipped really hard in price. It was like after a big like crypto mining thing went down. Maybe it was just local to me, I'm not sure. But I missed out. 3080 Ti is not that bad, but I by far overpaid for it, that's for sure. And I wanted to up my RAM from, what am I at? 64? System. No, I've only got 32. I wanted to go from 32 to 64, but that's impossible now. It's like some ridiculous amount of money to get another set of them. You with your 3050? 3050 is great. I mean, what am I playing? It's like I haven't even spun up like Cyberpunk 2077 on it. Actually, no, I did. That's not true. I think that was the impetus for me purchasing it, in fact. So it was a while ago. I can't imagine what the price would be now for a 3080. But I know the price for a RAM is just off the wall insane. Give it a year or two for the prices to go down. It depends on if this AI bubble collapses or not. It has collapsed. Like the money is not there. So they're just fucking bullshitting everyone, pretending that there's some massive demand for AI that will support all these companies, but like at least half of them are going to collapse at some point in the near future. It is inevitable. The question is just, where is that debt going to go? And my fear is that it is going to fall onto the American taxpayer yet again. And more than likely that will be the case. You're glad you bought what you have? I'm trying not to use it too hard, but I am playing a bunch of new games these days. Well, I mean, if you're not gonna, you should use it as hard as you want, because what's the point of having it, you know, otherwise? Bring a Dranithus shard. What? A red crystal Dranithus. Place for mountains flying where demons roll. What? Sure. Anyways, look at that. +6 agility on a throwing weapon. I bet I wear this till I'm 60. I can't think of anything else with more agility except for in raids. All right, I think we said we're going to Grim Reaches at this point. Or it's actually 1 in the morning, so maybe I should go to bed. Maintain your refrigeration and bring Dranithus shard. Oh, it's in the Swamp of Sorrows. The lost one on Geku. Oh, I know exactly where he is. I remember from Zenrai. I kept killing him and I was like, what is this for? This must be for some quest. Is it this one? That's the quest? Jesus, weird. Oh, I don't know if I can replace it. I do still keep my old GTX 960, but well, it's not bad. Yeah, I've got a spare 1060 and I think I've got a 980 Ti, both of which are still in good condition, though I'm almost certain the 980 needs to be what you call it? My brain is fogging up, so it's definitely time to go to bed. My 980 Ti needs a repaste, retape. It needs some shit before I use it again in any hard manner, I suppose. Oh. So for those of you who've joined recently and you don't know that I've just announced Warcrotch, I want you guys to take a look at this posting and let me know what you think. Vote in the poll. And if you like the idea of Warcrotch and you can afford the membership's a little on the expensive side because I think realistically, at most, I might find like 50 or 60 people who are interested. If we hit that threshold of 60 people who are willing to pay the monthly for Warcrotch, I can do the tabletop RPG at that point. Under that, I think I'll finish the audio novel and then consider a second audio novel if the audio novel does really well. But we'll have to see how that goes. It's a little more iffy in that proposition. Get Sammy to do your art for Warcrotch? Oh God. Would he? I think I'd have to pay quite a bit, in which case, unless this goes absolutely gangbusters and like everybody wants Warcrotch, I think it will be a that would be not affordable. Just have to be realistic on those kinds of things. I don't know if Sammy would be interested. You know who would be interested though? Roman. Roman would definitely do the art for Warcrotch. So if we hit enough, and I'll ask Sammy first, and then if he says no, I'll go to Roman because Roman was also an artist on World of Warcraft and Warcraft 2 or Warcraft 3. I think did he work on Warcraft 3? I think yeah, he worked on Warcraft 3 as well. So there's certainly there's some options, let's say. And I don't know. I'm excited to see what people think. Maybe they'll think I'm crazy, but that's okay. It's impossible to get hired in this economy anyways as a game designer, so I got to find something to do on my own. Maybe this is it, maybe not. We'll have to see. You'll get started on some art concepts hopefully soon. I got a lot on your plate today. Take care, Dave. Thank you, Meat Shield 7. I appreciate it. And yeah, don't worry. There's no rush on this. The audio stuff will happen first, and then the art can come later. Come later. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, no problem, Rodfather. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in Cappy. Hope maybe we can raid together. That would be fucking cool. Though you'll definitely hit 60 before I do. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Thank you for joining me, and be sure to spread that link around. If Warcrotch hits a certain threshold, a lot can happen very quickly. So vote in that poll. The poll will be what I look at first, and it's okay if you don't know what to think or if you're not feeling good about it. I want to know. All right, guys. I will see you next time, maybe tomorrow. Depends on if anything happens job-wise. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to stream more regularly, so hopefully there'll be a lot more. All right, guys, I gotta go. Bye. Oh, Hail Hydra.